Hello, PWHL fam. Welcome to another PWHL commentary in NHL 26. It's been some time since we've had one of these on the channel, and with the season already underway, I'm making it a goal to get at least one of these out a week. Last time I talked about which coaches may be on the hot seat. This time we're going to discuss both Vancouver and Seattle and their somewhat slower starts. If you're watching this, I'm sure at some point you were thinking that the new expansion teams are so much better than everyone else, and they'll be unbeatable all season. And remember when the burning question I received about Seattle was how would anyone be able to beat them? Well, it's definitely been possible so far, as Seattle has won one game out of their first few. But if you watch their games, it wasn't an easy task to do it. They have done well at carrying the play and getting a lot of chances, but have run into some good goaltending, especially at home. Just watching the team play and knowing who they have on their roster, you know that they are more than capable of scoring goals. Especially in their first win at home when they scored twice in the last couple of minutes on a 5-minute power play. Alex Carpenter, Hilary Knight, expect them to both be in the top 10 for scoring by the end of the season. One of my questions early on is why have they been playing Julia Gosling with those two and not Hannah Bilka? Watching the trio of Bilka, Carpenter, and Knight play together initially in the rivalry series, I was certain that they would be so dangerous together in Seattle and be a nightmare for all opponents. But I don't think we've seen them all on the same line yet in Torrent jerseys, minus on the power play. Gloves off Seattle and 365 Hockey Girl. I don't know if Coach Steve O'Rourke has been asked something like this. If he has though, I'd love it if you reminded me what his response was. Not like Gosling playing with them is a bad thing. She's good. Getting comparisons to Natalie Spooner coming into the league. It's more of a surprise than a critique, to be quite honest, on the way they've organized their forward lines. In a way, it can be a good strategy early on to do that, especially with the fact that both Seattle and Vancouver are brand new teams. That's a lot of the discussion that's taking place early on, especially with Vancouver, suggesting the fact that they are new teams and team chemistry is an early issue. On Vancouver's first road trip of the season, they lost all 3 games and only scored 2 goals across those games, being outscored 12-2 in the process. And it's not like the problem that Seattle was having where they had their chances and just couldn't capitalize. They could not get their offense going whatsoever. Now they have been hit with a couple of injuries. Sarah Nurse got hurt during the first game of the season and has been out, and defender Nina Job-Smith has yet to make an appearance. But the problem there is that even though Nurse may be your best forward, losing her shouldn't make the team significantly worse like that. Key issues with Vancouver seem to be their center depth and their face-off percentage. If my count is correct, in that game against Boston where they got shut out, they only won 14 out of 49 face-offs. Sometimes it seems like face-off stats get overlooked when checking the box score, but in their game against Boston, the result of Boston winning a lot of their face-offs meant immediate pressure and scoring chances, and the shots were 19-2 for Boston after the first period. And you have 4 lines in hockey, so when Nurse returns, yes, they will be better, but that won't completely solve their problems. Another issue they were having was that they would give up a goal within the first 5 minutes in each game. Falling behind early on isn't always the end of the world, but when that happens, the momentum always swings the other team's way right off the bat. I also want to talk about Hannah Miller. I thought she looked good as a center with Toronto previously, but with Vancouver I'm not so sure. I always thought of her as a winger sniper type player. If you're a Hannah Miller fan, what's your take on that? I would like to see her on the wing to be put in a position to get some more goals, but it's hard to do that with the team's center situation right now. Would you really want someone like Gabby Rosenthal or Anna Seghetti playing top line minutes? Plus, Miller does have a good two-way game, which is good for a center. But anyway, back to the team's struggles as a whole. I saw some early discussion about fans saying that the coach was part of the problem. I know 365 Hockey Girl made a video talking about that, but I can't find it anymore. If you're watching this, would you mind sending it to me if it's still up, or telling me what made you believe Coach Adelsky is a problem early on? But if fans believe that the coach is the main reason why Vancouver is struggling to start, I think it's a bit of an overreaction. I feel like I may just be ranting on and on at this point. There are certainly some big cracks with this team, but so far they've only really been seen when they're on the road, whereas at home they've looked excellent. To be quite honest though, it's looking like Seattle is the team that's more likely to go further. Like I said, despite their slower start, they have played well to start off. They have the forward depth, they have the defensive depth. They unfortunately lost to Neda Teralova due to injury, but that shouldn't affect them too much I hope, and it will allow for someone like Lindy Lobdell to get a chance. They even have a bit of a problem in goal, but it's a good problem to have. Corinne Schroeder, who is expected to be the team's number 1, hasn't had the best of starts, but you know that she's better than that. But Hannah Murphy made her debut against New York and looked superb out there. One flaw that was noticeable, however, was her rebound control, but she's only 22 years of age and is showing the potential of a star goalie. Coach O'Rourke even told the media that they wish to play their entire trio of goalies over the course of the season, which includes CJ Jackson. It's probably too early to ask, but if you're a Torrent fan, and there's another expansion and you're only allowed to protect one goalie, Which one are you going to choose? Personally, as much as I'd want to keep Shorter around, I think Murphy would be the one to keep. Do you agree with that decision? Maybe the smarter decision to keep the younger one around with the potential to be fantastic. However, Shorter is only 26, so it's not like she's at the end of the road. That question is definitely going to come up again. I think I'm going to end the discussion there for now, but I'm going to end it with a series of questions. Which team do you believe is better? Do you think one will struggle a lot more than the other? Can one of them win the Walter Cup in their inaugural season? Leave a comment below with your opinions. Did I miss anything that you would like to be discussed? Anyway, if you enjoyed this commentary and would like to hear more, be sure to give this one a big like. I want to try for 15 likes this time. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well if you haven't already. Also, should I release these videos on a specific day? And would you like them to be longer? I feel like I could say more than what I already talked about. Let me know your thoughts and I will catch you next time. Bye!